Welcome to the show, and here are your hosts, the diabolical Elite Gaming Guru, the illustrious Red Dead Panda, and the Australian stud Ashtray Gaming. So let's get this party started. Shit.
Live.
Good morning.
Good
Oh,
morning.
well, good morning. Good evening. And welcome to another episode of Gaming Industry Podcast, episode 56, with myself, Ashtray, and Red Dead Panda. Yeah.
Oh, Red Dead Panda's gone down the list. Shit.
Yeah, I know,
Yeah.
yes, yeah.
Biscuits told me I'm a fraudulent gamer, so you know.
I just read it off how it's on Discord, honestly, so it wasn't because I was...
Shout out to those in the chat already this morning. Tryhard, Shizno Elite, Afterboss, and Boba Fett Gaming. Welcome.
Boba
Glad
Fett.
you could be here.
Thank you, guys. Yeah, please drop a like and share out. Let's see if we can get the comments on fire today. We've got some good topics. I've got really itchy nose. I'm ready with loaded. I've got me Kraken rum and some Coke. What are you guys drinking?
Water.
Coffee.
Oh,
I did quickly scull my hot tea, so happy about that. I love a good hot tea.
I can't stand tea.
And you're from the UK.
Yeah.
Isn't that a
And
prerequisite to
it's-
get kicked out?
It's apparently and it's Jubilee as well, isn't it? We've got the Jubilee weekend, so we had
Yes.
Thursday, we had
She's
yesterday and today off as
celebrating
bank
her
holiday.
platinum, right?
Nice.
Yeah, 50 years of doing nothing.
You're not wrong.
Yeah.
I thought it was
Oh.
70 years. She's the longest reigning
I think it's
monarch.
70.
Yeah, it's 70.
Yeah.
70, I don't
Because,
know.
You
diamond
should
was
know, man.
60, gold was 50.
Someone's.
Damn, you
someone's
really
showed-
don't belong in the UK, mate.
I only said 50 because I walked past someone's post like that, Platinum Jubilee, and it said 50 years on it.
I think
Oh,
Ashtray
I'll
and
come
I are
on to
more
look it up now.
qualified.
Yeah. Well, you are Poms.
Oh,
well.
shit.
Gee.
all right.
Apparently, I'm a convict baby, so
Yeah.
I've been told a few times.
we got Coral in the chat. The better half is back. Yay, Coral.
When is she going to get on the show here? Because I want to
Yeah.
hear two people at the same time saying chili bin.
Yeah, should have been. And
I have
water
to
blasting.
suss that with her. I have to suss that with her as to when's good for her. Because she's just recovering. So she's a lot better than she was. But
Did you beat her? Did you?
I beat
Yeah.
her with my Xbox Series S because
You like the Herd sisters.
yeah. Hi, Carl, love you. Anyway, what have you been up to, Ashtray, this week? Before we get into it, just before we do have the new legal joining us, but he is running a bit late, so he'll just jump in when he jumps in. But yeah, Ashtray, what have you been up to?
The typical Fortnite games, game nights that I play most of the time. But I've been jumping in and out of Sniper Elite 5. You right?
Yeah. Sorry.
All right, good. We don't want you choking. Sniper Elite 5. What else? GTA 5. A lot of fives there. And then a few
you playing
bits and
GTA?
pieces. Yeah, I've been playing it the last couple of days.
Yeah, man.
Just through the campaign again. I've owned it on the 360, the one, and now the series. So I'm a fool, but yeah, it is what it is.
You're gonna get it on the PS6 as well, or the
PS6, probably.
Oh.
But I just wanted to like I used my Microsoft rewards points, so I didn't really pay for it this time. But I just wanted to see what it was like at 60, and it is much nicer to play for a Rockstar game. And I've finished the campaign of Jurassic World Evolution, and now I've just got to play the other sections of it. But the campaign's pretty short. It's probably, I reckon, if you sat down and did it in one sitting, you'd probably do it in about 4 hours,
That is short.
roughly. Yeah, it is
Did you
short.
play it
but
on
then,
console?
of course,
Okay. Hey, I was just asking.
of course,
you,
through
you know.
through Game
it's in-
Pass.
It's in Game Pass, yeah.
That's
I think
right,
I got.
it's Game Pass.
Yeah.
How many islands just do? Because I played it to a point where I did get a bit bored of it, to be honest. It's too similar. I got to an island where it's a big island with all mountains around it, and then you can get Brontos and stuff like that. I can't remember.
They just need to
Yeah,
add a
it's-
Conan patch for you, and then you'll love it.
Yeah. It's a fun game. I really enjoyed it, but it does get a bit repetitive after a while. And it is fairly easy. I found it really easy to make money. Didn't you? I found it.
Yeah, it is. It's just an easy playthrough, and then you can go
Yeah,
to
it is,
challenge
yeah.
mode, which is actually more like the first game where you got to start from scratch and make sure you make money that way. So they've just added a little campaign in there. I think probably for some people just to sort of get acquainted to it and how it sort of works more than anything else.
Yeah.
So it is a pretty easy run through, but it's fun and I enjoyed it, and you get a few achievements out of it. So
What I did like out of it is that you can take charge of the cars and drive around in them, and then you can go into like a 3D mode, can't you? A VR mode where you're actually inside the car and drive around. That's quite fun.
you can do that in the first one too.
Yeah, I did like doing that. So
Yeah.
yeah.
What have you guys been playing?
I'll let Elite go first.
Yeah, I've been playing Conan and Hunt Showdown. Oh yeah.
There's a petition to remove you from the Xbox community, by the way. I'm starting to pen that right now.
And the UK. Yeah, we're two for one.
UK. Where's he going to live then if he moves out of the UK?
I don't know.
Yeah. I can come
Bosnia.
with you
Find a
guys.
place. The
Bosnia.
Bermuda Triangle.
I come with you, Ashtray.
There you
Then we
go.
can
No.
I don't know.
No.
Then we can like play. We
borders are closed.
We can have a full game, a complete game of Monopoly when Red goes into one of her talks.
Hey, you could play D&D.
Yeah, from start to finish.
3-month
we'd actually
campaign completed in 10 minutes.
We'd actually complete it. Yeah. We'd complete Minecraft or
what else have
Pac-Man.
you
We'd
been
complete
playing?
Pac-Man. So Hunt Showdown, and yeah, I've downloaded Sniper Elite, and I did just start on the campaign, but I've not got enough into it. I basically just sort of skip the story at the beginning, because I don't care. And
nice.
about to start it, and about to start it, and I thought, well, I didn't realise it's got like a co-op mode and all stuff like that to it. So that's why I thought, I can get into this because it might be a bit like Hunt Showdown. You fight against other players, play against other players.
Yeah, I've been playing it by myself, and it's kind of a bit boring for me. So I reckon co-op is the way to go on that game.
Yeah,
Sniper Elite
so
5.
I'll be happy to.
Yeah.
I just started that. I'm about 30 minutes in. So literally
Yep.
just
Yeah.
started it.
Well, see, I'll maybe join you then because I'm about 5 minutes in.
What difficulty? Because I
you, yeah.
put mine on authentic.
Oh, I probably skipped that. Didn't even see that. I skipped a lot of it. I was like, go, just start. I'm doing that in a lot of games. I don't really care. It's like, what sentence would you like? What sound? And I'm like, just skip. Just get me into the game. For fuck's sake. I'm like in a lot of games. I even skipped the story.
you're just a
It
casual
started with
gamer, is
fantastic
what I'm
looking
hearing.
story. Press hold to skip, and I was like, skip.
That's what he does when I talk. Press hold to skip.
Yeah. No, I just press mute. Trifarce has recently finished
New
his
Game
NG.
Plus of God of War.
Wow.
Yeah, New Game Plus.
And he's ready for Ragnarok. Oh.
Nice. I did that too a couple of years ago. Enjoyed it second time around a lot more than the first time around. Good game. Let's hope Ragnarok's an improvement on top of that, not just the same old.
Will it drop this year as well? Is the question. Didn't weren't on the state of play, was it? But we go into that once we get.
I'm
round
uncertain
to
about that, but yeah.
Yeah, I think it's looking good, is it?
Yeah,
Surely.
really interesting. What have I been doing, guys? You tell
Yes.
me.
What have you been up to?
Nothing.
Right, into the topics.
Yeah, ignore this person.
Because I haven't seen you online much lately.
Yeah, like
so.
the first few days of the week, I haven't really done anything. I've been playing a little bit of Lego Indiana Jones with my twin, who's in the chat, and so we're playing some of that because I never bothered to finish it ever. Then I decided to turn on some Lego Batman 3 because I love Lego Batman. But I started
Nice.
Sniper Elite 5, played about 30 minutes of that, and I have been playing Halo as per usual because I seem to have something wrong with me. It's an addiction.
That's your Conan.
Yeah, that is my Conan at the moment. I mean, it used to be Destiny 1 at one point where I'd just play that religiously and have over 1,000 hours in that game. So
It's easy to just jump into Halo. That's the thing. I'll be playing with it, and then I'll just think, I'm just gonna jump in and just have like just one, maybe two games, jump back out of it again.
yeah,
It's so easy just to think jump into that,
is
isn't it?
really
Yeah.
easy to do that. But yeah, so turned on Sniper Elite 5. Never played a Sniper Elite game, so I would be keen to do that co-op with some people. But I don't know. My sister and I might play something today. We'll see. We're trying to play Halo 2, but then we're going to have to play together on the same console. Because we're still running into connection issues when we're connecting just with that Halo game, when we're playing co-op campaign together. It just disconnects us, and we're like, then we have to go through that stage again and again, and I'm like, I'm not here for that. As much as I want to replay the game, I want to get through the story, because it's the first time she's playing through the story. Yeah. All right. Okay. All right.
Very good. All right.
Nice one.
Let's jump into our first topic, I think.
Yeah.
Let's do it.
Yeah, we'll start off with a soft one and slowly guide it
It's a hard one.
to a harder, bigger topic. Let's start off. Jesus. Let's start off with
walked right into that.
Assassin's Creed Origins gets an 60 FPS boost, and it drops on.
Still laughing.
It drops on Game Pass, I believe, 7th of June, which is this Tuesday coming. So, have you guys? Did you guys play it last gen?
Oh, I love Assassin's Creed Origins.
Yep.
It's so good. I'm now tempted to reload up it again just to finish off the DLC, so that I can enjoy it in 60 FPS, because I wished it was in 60 FPS the whole time. But yeah, I'm just so happy about that. It's about time, because Odyssey already got their 60 FPS patch, so I'm so happy about that. Well, did you guys play it at last gen consoles as well?
Yeah, I think I fell out with Assassin's Creed's after probably about Brotherhood. I think it's Brotherhood. Oh no, Unity was it? Unity's the sort of the multiplayer one, wasn't it? And then I just got bored of them, so I've not really picked them up. I know I've heard good things about Origins and Odyssey and stuff, and sort of the new ones are sort of much better in that. So, but I just didn't want to commit money to them, because
It's on Game Pass, so you can now play it.
Yeah, so that's what I mean. So as it's going to Game Pass, I'll definitely jump into it. But I know, I'm not keen on single player games, so I don't want to throw £60 on a game. But I'm just going to skip the story and just. So yeah, I'll definitely try it on Game Pass. As for 60 FPS, yes, all games, as we've all said, I think from especially this generation, that they should all be 60s anyway. So all games should be. So yeah, this is certainly a welcome solution. Ashray, what do you think? Give us your opinion.
I put a few hours into it last gen, but I didn't really get into it. And some people are in the camp of they liked the previous Assassin's Creed games as opposed to this open world, and that changed the dynamic. And people don't sort of like that. But then you've got the others that really like the open world, and I like both, but I prefer the open world. However, for some reason or another, I just couldn't get into Origins. I think I roughly about 20 hours into it, but just really couldn't get into
stick with you.
Which is weird, because it sort of ticks all my boxes, and I love Odyssey. I absolutely
Explains why it's
love
only
Valhalla.
a soft topic, not a hard topic for you, the Ashtray.
Ooh, exactly. So, I think it, having the 60 FPS boost will improve that experience for me. So I'll jump back into it again, especially since it's on Game Pass. I'll download that ready for Tuesday, and then I'll jump into it again and have a play. And I'll start from the start, and I'll go through it. Hopefully, it clicks with me this time.
All I'll say is Predator Bow, because I don't like what they did with the Predator Bow in AC Origins and Odyssey, and made that put that behind the ability points or whatever those points are. I can't think what they are.
Ability points.
Yeah, they put them behind that. Whereas in Origins, it's not, and it's just if you have the arrows, you can use them, which is really, really cool.
Fair enough.
I think I
never got that far with that. So
I think what I didn't like from the games, I didn't like the whole futuristic sort of going back and then playing this character, and then you're sort of ported around in different time frames. I think that got a bit dry, a bit boring. I'd like it if they just made just a standalone game in this style with a completely different story, nothing to do with the futuristic sort of quantum leap sort of storyline they use. That's what I'd think I'd rather enjoy than I don't like that sort of plot.
I hope this is a sign to come, and I hope this is what they're doing for all games moving forward, is making them, like, allowing the game to scale based on the hardware, because that's the cool thing about PC, right?
Yeah.
Is as long as you've got the hardware, you can up the settings and make the frame rate as high as you want it to be, and adjust whatever you need for optimization. We're never going to get that far on console side with the way they do it at the moment, but it would have just been nice to not have the devs need to go back and patch. Like some of the games that are made Gen 9 aware immediately, but yes, they had to go patch this to make it Gen 9 aware so that it would know that it can take advantage of the extra power in those consoles. And like the patch is for not just the PS5 and the Series X, but it's also for the Series S. So well done to the Series S getting a 60 FPS patch. Good on them.
Indeed, for sure.
I've just seen we've got the new legal
has
join
just
us
joined
now.
us.
Yeah, he's
Yes.
on mute at the moment. I don't know if
He's
you
probably
realise.
getting
There
set
he
up.
is.
No, he's unmuted himself. Welcome, new legal.
Thank you. How you doing, Red Dead Panda?
I am excellent. Even better now that you're here. I'm glad you could make it.
Yes, it's so good to hear from you.
I know we haven't been on a podcast in forever. It feels like.
I know. I'm glad y'all invited me. What's going on, Elite Gaming?
I'm good. What are you doing? What are you up to? What are you wearing?
Man, I'm not doing nothing, man. I just got off work, man. I had to come and join, man. Y'all put me on the spot. I'm like, let me go holler at my peoples, man. Straight Gaming in the building. What's good, man?
What's happening, man? What's happening?
Man, you know it, man.
I'm good.
We're all around the globe. Man.
We are.
Yes.
Beautiful.
Yeah. Everywhere.
We've everywhere. Australia, America,
Exactly.
England, and New Zealand.
Gamers are taking over the world.
Exactly, man. This is beautiful, man. Thank y'all for having me on y'all show today.
And
That sounds great.
You can't say that gaming doesn't bring people together, because it does. Clearly, look at this.
Yeah.
Exactly. Absolutely.
I'm in a podcast with an Australian, so yeah, you know.
Absolutely, man.
I don't know if you were listening or had a chance to have a look at our first topic, but we're just going over the Assassin's Creed Origins 60 FPS boost. And
man,
just
beautiful.
wondered if you had something to say about that.
Oh man, beautiful. Yeah. Well, if anybody's been paying attention, I love Assassin's Creed Origins. That was the first Assassin's Creed that really got me into it. I really wasn't a big fan of the other ones previously because I love the open world aspect. So as soon as I got into it, it blew me away, and I went from Origins to Odyssey, and I just kept going. I went from Odyssey to Ragnarok, and it's just beautiful. All three of those series are beautiful, but Origins is my favorite. It just had so much to do. So much to do, man.
Origins is
It
my
was
favorite.
ridiculous. Yeah, it was my favorite. Odyssey, I love too as well. But Odyssey, the map, to me, Origins map was just ridiculous. You could go anywhere, top of the mountain. I mean, anywhere, slide down, jump down, whatever you wanted to do. I mean, there was a place I couldn't go hardly. I loved it. I loved fighting the gods, the Egyptian gods. I loved it, man. It was very challenging. And getting and unlocking the weapons and suits. So yeah, the 60 frames, I always said that. And it's just beautiful now that they got it. It's going to be more smoother. The body mechanics at 60 frames per second in any game just makes the body mechanics more smoother. It makes it react more realistically. And I felt like the 30 frames was slower, but I understood it. But it didn't harm the game. It didn't harm the game's fun factor. So I enjoyed it, man. I'm glad it's got a 60 frame boost. It's well deserved.
I agree. It is definitely well deserved, and it's just nice that we have hardware that isn't holding those games back any longer, and that developers are hearing the fact that we want higher frame rates in games, and they're allowing that optimization and those options when choosing your modes to play in, whether it's performance or quality or a mix of both. Yeah, finding that happy medium for console gamers is really important, and we have the technology for the consoles now to support that. So, cool beans.
That's right. I gotta go share this, man.
I'm looking forward to the animations being smoother because of that 60 frames, which will make the combat feel even better and more precise. So that's sort of what I'm hoping to get out of it this time round when I play it. So should be good. Should be very good.
talking about that
All
just
right,
makes me
guys.
want to go play it. I'm going to leave the podcast and go play it now.
Well, that means the podcast will only go for about another 20 minutes.
Yeah, probably. You guys will speed through the topics without me.
Do you really have to leave?
No.
Okay.
They're just teasing me.
I'm just trying to understand the foreign banter. You know, the foreign banter. Maybe I'm late on it, right?
No, they
Late
just
on
like to make a joke that I talk so much that they have time to like play a game,
Finish full
or
games.
like cook a meal, or they even made a joke the other week that I was talking so long that Starfield had already released.
Right. No, we can't stop you, Red. Anytime. You know you got us. So
Yeah. Shit.
True. Very true. Shit.
that's right. That's she.
Don't get us started, legal.
What now, Ashley?
What's up?
What'd you say?
I know. I said, don't get Red started on a. No.
Oh, I
I thought
heard
she's
you,
going to
bro.
do another run. Yeah, she does tend to run.
No.
Yeah.
Hello, Javier McCain. I hope I said your name right. Thank you for joining us in the chat. Hit the like button. Hope you enjoy. And let's get into some more topics. Elite, I'll let you lead the way. He's dead now. I've talked and he's dead.
Really?
Yeah, he's just probably gone to the toilet or something. What do you
You
always
talking
do?
to?
Oh,
I thought you
he's
said
gone.
Astro.
No, she's talking to you, Elite.
Oh, I thought you said
Your
that. I
name's
thought you said
Elite,
Astro.
right?
Yeah, I thought you said Astro. I don't know why. Yes. So, topic 2. I'm looking at Astro's thinking on the list. Obsidian designer hints at Xbox June showcase appearance. This is the studio is working on Avowed and Outer Worlds 2. So you think they're hinting at the event because they're going to be there and they're going to show off their games? Is that what we're going with?
You tell us.
Yes, well, I think I've already predicted. I reckon Avowed will be shown. There'll be more gameplay. Because when we last see it, it was a little bit of gameplay, very minor gameplay, but it was actually a little bit of gameplay. I reckon they will show more gameplay, and I've got a weird feeling this game might release next year, or even Outer Worlds 2. I reckon I'm sure I see a tweet by them or a message by them saying they're further through Outer Worlds 2 than people think. I'm sure I heard someone quote that or to state that. But I reckon they're definitely going to release either Avowed or Outer Worlds 2 next year. But yeah, it'd be great to see them. It'd be great to see more of Avowed. What do you guys think?
Yeah, Avowed, definitely, that's a possibility. Outer Worlds 2 is nowhere near ready. I mean, the trailer that they showed for it was just, mocking the fact that they had no content for it. But obviously they were going to start working on it. So, but although we didn't see much of Avowed, I think that was just a teaser to then we'll see some gameplay. But I still think it's going to be 2023, 2024, possibly.
I agree.
Until we get Avowed.
I agree.
Yeah, but at least we'll get a little bit of a bit more information, maybe some gameplay, like really sort of early stuff. They might have enough to show for a couple of minutes, and that's about it. But I think it'll be more than just CGI for Avowed, and hopefully some details about the world and what's consistent in it and what they sort of want to do with the game. From the look of it. It's something up my alley. It's a big RPG type of game. You've got some spells, you've got a sword. So as long as the controls are good and they're not sort of too complicated like Witcher, it should be a pretty good, fun game to play.
Yeah. And just so everyone who's listening, the Obsidian Studio design director, Josh Sawyer, is the one who sort of hinted on Twitter that we could probably see Obsidian at the Xbox Bethesda Showcase event, like later. Is it next week or the week? I don't even know anymore.
It's next Sunday.
Next Sunday.
It's next Sunday.
Or Monday.
We're doing a live show.
Yeah.
We'll be up for a live show
I
that
think
day, yeah.
that's the plan. That's the intention. And then
That's the plan,
Astray's
yeah.
lucky enough to actually be going to the Melbourne event, right?
Yeah.
Oh, that's dope, man.
Yeah, we've got to check in at 2 a.m. So it's going to be super early.
Make sure you take some pictures, fam.
Yeah, for sure.
You got to make
definitely.
it. Do it. I think you should record some stuff for your channel and all. Have poor
Yeah, for
people
your
in.
OnlyFans
Yeah, for
account.
real, man.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, so I got an email because I was lucky enough to get a +1 from Boba Fett Gaming. Shout out to him. He actually won the tickets and then asked if I wanted to
Nice.
go because we're in the same city.
Nice.
And I said, of course.
Of course.
But yeah, so we received an email with an ID number and all that kind of stuff yesterday, and it says you can film and take photos, but not during the event itself. So they've got other things planned like giveaways and things like that, but during the actual showcase, you're not allowed to film.
Yeah.
So
No, I don't mean
I
I
get
don't
kicked out.
mean yeah, I don't mean feel the showcase, but I mean as you're walking around and chatting to
Yeah.
people, especially if you can get someone like I don't know, Major Nelson usually goes to these things and just have a chat with him and film that. That'd be cool. That'd be cool for your channel.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
So, and he will be
Show.
there, by the way. So that'll be pretty cool.
Yeah, he will. Yeah, I see him at EXO 2019, I think it was.
Does that potential, just checking in with you guys, does the potential that Obsidian, one of the Obsidian maybe being at the June showcase, is that exciting for you guys? I know I definitely am excited because I really want to see more from what they're doing, and they're such a funny studio in the way they curate the content that they show, like the Grounded trailer and the Outer Worlds 2 trailer. And it's so funny to watch. They do the best trailers.
They don't take themselves too seriously. I was just wondering as well about Outer Worlds. I wonder if because if you recall Outer Worlds 1, the graphics weren't. The game was great, but the graphics just weren't. They weren't obviously for graphics, but I wonder if they're going to boost those up.
I think
and bring up sort of fidelity ring. Good.
It seems like it's that kind of style. It looks like that's the kind of style they're going with. I agree with Guru. I don't really like the style, but I'll play with it. It looks like that's what they're going with. I know what you're talking about.
Upgrade it just slightly. Yeah, it does. It did look very 360.
Aren't they using UE5? Are they one of the studios using UE5?
Are they?
From memory, I think they are. Maybe double check that, guys.
And as for Avowed, what I recall, it was first person, wasn't it? It wasn't like Witcher in that. It was a first person.
Yeah, it was like first person. Yeah, like if you see the bow and arrow, you see the bow and the arrow. That's all.
Which reminds me of the old school sort of dungeon slashers. Remember those? Who used to be made like the Baldur's Gate stuff? I don't know if you remember Baldur's Gate. There was a game like that. It was more like first person. You walk around hacking stuff, and things like Dungeon Master and things like that. But I like those kind of style of games. So I'm looking forward to both their games. But yeah, I'd like to see an improvement on Outer Worlds graphically.
It wasn't a Valve. Didn't they have like issues? Didn't they have like some issues at first? And wasn't it some developer issues or does anybody remember what I'm talking about? Like, you remember they were talking about what's taking it so long and we haven't seen anything, and then it was some difficulties that they were having, right? Previously.
I can't recall that. To be honest, with Obsidian, I know we've heard it from several people, from several developers. I don't know if can anyone else recall that, or anyone in the chat? I don't think we've.
I thought they were having some issues with a Valve. I think they were having some issues with it.
All right.
I'm not sure. I think they were still working on the scope of it, maybe, and like what.
Right.
Yeah. I don't know. They haven't talked much about Avowed, so I would like. I would like to hear more about it. That'd be cool because it's been a couple of years since we've seen or heard anything about Avowed. Yeah. Yeah,
exactly. Exactly. We're just out here in the wilderness, We want to know something about it.
Just wandering, man. Just walking
just
around.
Wandering around. Right.
Wondering why Elite's such a fraud and
exactly.
Man. I'm leaving. You can have crap game on next week. Okay.
Well, that's an upgrade. I'm kidding.
I'm off. Next week you can have Marlies on it.
Okay. Please stay. I don't want him on
man.
Here. No.
Messy.
Guru has the jabs today. He's got the jabs today.
Not like that.
What is he? He's on his what's his name? What's his name, man? The MMA guy. He's on his what's his name?
The good looking one.
You know what I'm talking about. He slipped my mind.
See,
McGregor. He's on his McGregor.
Yeah.
Well, speaking of disappointments, PlayStation State of Play.
Hilarious, bro. Everything is supposed to be That's what everything is supposed to be. I don't know why people, at this point, it's just a comedy show, man.
Indeed,
And
man. Indeed.
the Sony, man, like guys like me and Guru, and I'm talking about it's a line of us, man.
Mm.
We were talking about this stuff even when we wasn't even on social media. People like us been telling people about Sony's tactics for years, man. And it's funny how Sony just seems to know that their audience is either dumb or blind. It's either one of the two. And when I mean blind, I'm not talking about physical blind. They see the dumb stuff. That's they go down to that saying that their ignorance is bliss.
Yep.
So they see it, but they don't see it. They don't want to recognize it. So it's like, listen, man, if y'all like getting juked all the damn time and then try to make reasonings for it, it's very clear now that that's what y'all are doing. Like, all your narratives are destroyed. Jim Ryan came and pimp slapped all of y'all. So your games are going to be all over the place, just like we told y'all. You didn't want to believe us, but that's because you don't know gaming. Now it's clear that who knows gaming and who don't know gaming. All right, the sides have been set. So now you have another choice. Either you're going to keep running with the dummies or you're going to pay attention. Either way, we're going to get a laugh out of all of this. We're laughing at y'all because now it's like they did this state of play, and it was funny because I predicted it, right? I mean, who couldn't see state of play coming before the Xbox event? That's how Sony's been getting down forever. Let's go ahead and throw our stuff out before Microsoft. But that's because the tide turned when Microsoft took over that E3 so that Sony couldn't have a roadmap on how they were going to sabotage and lie on E3 stage. See, they've been lying to y'all on E3 stage because they would be behind Microsoft. Y'all remember those glorious days.
Oh, you mean they were probably going to announce the PS4 Pro?
Right, they would change up. Yeah, but they was doing that since PlayStation 3. They would always change up all the little event shows. They would always change up, but they would always watch Microsoft's events, and that's how they would make their adjustments. So you can see that they're not really depending on their own logic. All right, they're depending on Microsoft's logic. And now that Microsoft has went to a place that they can't go, they really don't have a roadmap. They don't have a roadmap for cloud. They don't have one, so they can't pretend like they do. So that's why your services look trash. That's why the PlayStation Plus service looks trash. It looks trash. Look, you can't defend that trash. It's trash. All right, y'all. That's why y'all not even supporting it. All right, that 47 million, you haven't went above that since the beginning of the damn thing. You've hit that before 2 years ago and it went down. Now you're back at it. So it's either y'all done plateaued or you do have some people that have common sense in your community is like, I'm not paying for that dog crap. I'm not going to do that. I can see clearly that that's not a deal. So they come up the show, and yesterday they do their show yesterday, and Sony wants you to think that a lot of these games are going to be on other consoles. Once again, Sony's tactic failed them. Like, they're relying on the dumb people. They're relying on people that never do their research. All right, they don't ever look into it. That's what they're relying on. And so you would think that these games are just going to come out on PlayStation. They're not worrying about the fact that you find out that they lied to you later on. It's the fact that when they get you to buy the game, you bought the game, and that's all they care about.
Yep. Exactly, man. And that's geared towards the casual market because they're not like us and they don't sit on Twitter and forums and read news articles the way we do and educate ourselves on what's going on. And so the casuals just, there's a state of play. Oh, cool. I'll check that out. Oh, shit. All these games are exclusive. Awesome.
Right.
I'm going to get a PS5. And that's how they do it. That's exactly what works for them. When it comes to the hardcore market, those guys will just eat anything that's given to them regardless. I've noticed a lot of that stuff. I mean, E.G.G, that guy's a clown, right? He's like, there's a tweet saying, if games come to PC, and we saw that happen yesterday with Spider-Man, it's going to be, bullshit and trash and all this sort of stuff. And then he's got a tweet after that saying there's a fantastic showcase, 10 out of 10. It's like, hang on, is this guy got a split personality or what's going on? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, you got dudes out here with disorders, man. Y'all sitting out here running behind these dudes, man.
that's the only thing that I can narrow it down to, is that there's some sort of disorder. Seriously, because like it's just the flip flopping, the back and forth, the switching, the changing. It's beyond comprehension of a normal person. It really is.
It really is. Like, the consoles are not your friend. Listen, I'm here to help you. Consoles are not your friend. They're not your girlfriend. They're not your boyfriend. They're not your mom. They're not your dad. They're not your brother, your sister, your auntie, your uncle, your grandparents. Sounds like an intro to Direct Gaming, right? But come on, y'all. Like, come on, y'all. Y'all gotta come out of this. See, it's Sony, man. It's Sony's witchcraft, bro. Sony done cast a spell on them, Guru. What are we gonna do, man? They don't believe anything we say, and all we doing is just trying to help them, man. We're just trying to help them. Look, we're not anti-Sony, right? I have a boombox from Sony since 1990. I'm not anti-Sony. My boombox is like what, 32 years old?
I have a Sony. Just anti-bullshit.
That's right. Look, I'm not anti-PlayStation, right? I just don't. Here, I keep telling people this. I don't hate PlayStation. I just hate the way Sony does PlayStation. So therefore, I don't buy one. That's the difference. That's it. I'm not gonna, for the sake of my gaming integrity, I'm not gonna buy a console just to appease the crowd and just say, oh well, look, legal's cool. He's not a fanboy. See, look, I'm not trying to do anything to make you think that I am or I'm not. I'm who I am. I'm comfortable in my skin. So regardless if you think, if I'm a fanboy to myself, then I'm cool. I don't need you to validate that for me. Just because I like Xbox and I shoot for Xbox, if that makes you mad and you want to call me a fanboy, then so be it. You got the freedom to do that. The one thing that you just need to know, that you're not going to stop my fandom. I'm going to keep wearing my jersey. I'm going to keep enjoying Xbox. I have other consoles, but I keep telling y'all, so what? Who cares? Who cares? So what? That don't mean nothing. Play the games, be happy, and that's it. If you love all the games and you have all the consoles, then why are you on Twitter? There's too much gaming for you. Damn.
Oh, he cut out.
You cut out.
Yeah, I to carry on where I think there is, when you look at the two sides as well. Is he still talking?
I think so. I think you.
I had a phone call.
Okay.
Sorry.
Oh, right, yeah.
I didn't make it to my PC. I'm really out here in these streets, y'all. Still getting these calls and stuff. But no, it's like these. It's like what I was saying was, these companies, they're dependent on their customers to support them. If you think that Sony cares if I like their product or not, they want me to like their product. They want the new legal to buy a PlayStation. They already know you buying one. They're trying to get new buyers. That's why they're putting their games on PC. We told y'all that. Y'all didn't take care of PlayStation. We told y'all that. We saw those bargain bin deals. We saw that. We saw the bundles. We saw that. Y'all just want to play things off because nobody's going to correct you. But see, like I told y'all, this generation is going to fail you. You can't do anything because you don't have the tech. The tech is going to block you every time. God of War is not going to look better than Hellblade 2. I'm just letting you know that. It's not going to look better than any of the Xbox Studio games that come out. I'm just letting you know that. That's not fanboy. I'm just telling you the truth.
Yeah.
So,
and it's going to play exactly the same as the first one, I have a feeling. Not going to be any different.
Ain't going to be no much different. Yeah, it's not going to be much different. You played Miles Morales. What were you thinking? Spider-Man.
Sony, I think Sony have been very good for everything they do, for all the divisions, not just PlayStation. They're very good at misleading. I recall, I will go back to, do you remember Destiny 2 when they got sort of the advertising rights for that, and they sort of misled gamers into thinking that was exclusive. And many did, after the launch of it, thought the game was exclusive to PlayStation when it wasn't. Because I think it had exclusive content like guns and stuff like that. But it labelled the game exclusive, but in small detail it said content, and it's sort of small writing. They're very good at misleading. I'm surprised they get away with it, and they have been sued quite a few times for their misleading advertisement. But I don't think they just seem to care, because I think they recognise it's probably sometimes worth just taking the smack when you're just making so much money. And obviously their fan base seem to just not care. And I think that's the difference between the two fan bases. I think when you've got the sort of centric podcast, or I should say not centric, I should say Xbox Pro podcasts like the IDX and stuff like that, they do actually criticise Xbox if they're not doing good, or like they watch a show and say that wasn't too good or this is not too good. But if you listen to the PlayStation centric podcasts, they just don't. There's no negativity. They will not be negative to PlayStation. It was only positives, like MGB saying the show was an A. He said at one point. He said 1 point. It was read off 11 out of 10, and you just think, come on, man, and
they call us the fanboys. They call us the fanboys.
You see a lot of them on the PlayStation side, and they're just far too gone. And they're just, and I think that's the downfall side, and that's the Sony sees this. They see this support, and
they see it, and then they see the blind support. Exactly. Yeah.
I mean, recently, on Twitter now, you're getting the people now saying they don't care if games on PlayStation go to PC, which we've all heard for years that their games will never go to PC. You never see a first-party PlayStation game go to PC ever. Now it's we don't care if it's as long as it's like 4 years old, because if you've noticed. So Sony, when they advertised Spider-Man going to PC, but Spider-Man Miles Morales is also going to PC.
Exactly. They don't want to say that
in there. They didn't throw it in the advert. So you got them all like saying, "Yeah, but Spider-Man's a 2018 game. It's 4 years old. Who cares?" And then I'm sort of correcting people. Oh no, actually, Spider-Man Miles Morales is also going there, which is only a year old. But Sony, also Returnal's gone to PC. But they sort of not highlighted these games. They've just highlighted the older ones. And just to suit sort of their cultist sort of narrative.
That's their therapy, Guru. That's their therapy. They got to do that. They got to close their eyes and tell themselves that.
And the next stop, Xbox. Let's see that happen, man. Especially, look, in all seriousness, you never know. A Marvel game owned by Disney could force them to put it on Xbox in the future.
Oh, absolutely.
I mean, we've seen it with the show, NBL The Show. So it's possible.
What are you talking about? They're already saying like Xbox now get to play Spider-Man as a result of it coming to PC. So they're already creating their new narratives.
Right, we can play those games on our Xboxes. What's funny, we can play Steam. So whatever Steam gets, you don't even have to go get a PC. Just use your Xbox. You have your Windows app. Just open it up. Just open your Steam. Get in there and play it. It's right there. You can play PC games on your Xbox.
Yes, we got the internet on there. Exactly.
So,
browsers.
The internet. Exactly.
How many of us actually watched the show for the PlayStation show?
I did.
Yeah, I did.
The only one who didn't, and he's.
I didn't because I'm a true Xbox fan.
I didn't either.
There you go.
Oh, there you go. See, it's only me
and Ashtray's the only one out of us that owns a PlayStation 5 as well. Or 4.
I don't have a PlayStation 5.
Look at you, there's disgust. I don't own a PlayStation 5. I can actually hear you spitting at the screen.
Ashtray be killing me on Twitter though, man. He be telling them straight up, no filter at all, bro, about the console. It's funny, bro.
For those who watched
short and simple.
That's how I roll, man.
What did you think of the show Elite? For those who watched it.
Right. So I was just going to say, because before I go into it, I just want to cover some of the Try Hard fans saying, because I do actually agree with him, and I was going to go into that. Firstly, I watched the show, and when I was watching it, it showed Resident Evil remaster, which is on all platforms, and was voted on the IGN poll as the most favoured game on the whole of State to Play, which is a multiplayer, obviously. So they showed that, and that was like, okay, meh. They showed some VR, which was... Yeah,
oh, my gosh.
It's not going to VR, because I was talking to Try Hard on Twitter today. I just don't think VR... If you want to play VR, play it on PC, because PC's got so much more variety of games. I don't think VR's ready for console. Until big companies like publishers and the studios start developing first-party AAA games of VR, I don't think it's just worth the effort. Really, I played the PSVR at work, and it was good. It was good fun, but it is a gimmick, and it's just still not there. I showed some VR titles, some old VR titles. They showed the Horizon Forbidden West, which Try Hard mentioned in chat. The only thing with that though, it looks like Well, you know the Jurassic World thing. You know you can go around when you go around in the car, and it's sort of like you can. As we were talking about earlier, where you can actually see dinosaurs and drive around and stuff. It looks like that, but on a boat. Um, I don't think it's the actual game. I don't think you run around in the games in
it's not.
VR. It's
It's
just
not in the
like
same
a
world.
showcase. No, it's just a showcase. It's just like you're on a boat and you just got like a guide that takes you around. Like, oh, look at these plants. Look at that dinosaur. Isn't the sky pretty? And stuff like that. And you're thinking, what? Yeah, 70 quid. You're gonna play. You're gonna pay £400 for your VR unit because they're making you buy a whole new unit. You can't use the old VR unit for whatever reason. Whole new unit.
But the old console is
Number
good to
four,
use, though.
So that last unit you bought only lasted what? When did that unit come out? 2017. That only lasted a few years. And they brought out a whole new unit for another £400, and they're going to give you a showcase Horizon Through the West. Where you just look at dinosaurs in the sky.
Flintstones, baby.
Not interested. But then they showed, but then my ears went up, and I was like, oh, my hairs went up. They showed Street Fighter, which PlayStation have lost the exclusivity to because it just didn't do well as an exclusive. And I think Capcom have come to their senses now and starting to make all their games
It's
sort of
actually been
multiplayer.
confirmed to be coming to Xbox.
Yes, it
Yup.
has, yeah.
And let's make this official, Guru. Not cross-gen. If you don't have a next generation of Xbox, peace.
Yeah. So, and I think this game looked fantastic. I was watching it at first. I was watching through Tanga's live stream because I didn't want to watch it through IGN's or anyone. And I think same reaction as him. I was watching it and thinking, what is this game? Because it looks like. He said it looked like Yakuza because it did look like Yakuza. You just run around the streets and you just go up to people and start fights with them. But then it switches into sort of the side view beat 'em up. It's basically made Street Fighter an open world fighting game where you just run around the streets, you do stuff around the streets, and then you challenge other fighters, and then it goes into that Street Fighter mode of fighting. It looks absolutely fantastic, and I was totally on board with that. And I think it's got a co-op mode because it showed like 2-on-2 fights and stuff like that. So that I was sold on that when they showed that. I think that's the only saving grace personally for State of Play for me. For the show, yeah. They showed Stray. Unfortunately, I thought the game looked really dull. Because it was on Fritanga's live stream and he was showing Amazing Lucas's
Meltdown,
which lasted the entire advert for Stray, which lasted about 4 or 5 minutes. For the whole of the Stray, he wasn't watching Stray. He was just complaining about Spider-Man going to PC for the entire bit and just swearing and shouting. So I couldn't even listen to it. But the game does look like you would just get bored of it. It looks like another where you just sort of run around as a cat, which I could only be fun for an hour. But it looks like just sort of I don't know.
That's the closest you'll get to some pussy, though, Elite. So.
Wow.
Well, I know it's fairly cheap in my area at the moment. The price has dropped during
Well, I'll
COVID.
be damned. That came unexpected, man.
Yeah, and then Final Fantasy, another Final Fantasy, which just seems to be like as bad as annual as Forza.
That's the thing. That's the thing now.
Really
Final
don't
Fantasy.
care.
Yeah.
I don't care. So that's pretty much it, I think. But
What do you rate it?
overall, I'd rate it. Street Fighter put it right up there, and I'm definitely going to get that game.
Definitely.
But
Receipt.
I would. I'd put it at. I'm going to be generous here. I'll put it at 5, 6. 6. I'll give it 6 because of Street Fighter, and it gets 3 points because of Street Fighter.
Fair enough.
What about you, Red? What do you think? You saw it all, didn't you?
Yeah, I did watch it all.
Oh, sorry, can I just jump in? Sorry.
Oh.
I just read your thing, and yes, they did show No Man's Sky VR, but that's already been on PC for about 2 years. So
Yeah, so they're doing a port now for PlayStation.
yeah. So yeah. So go on, go for it.
For the actual showcase itself, I wasn't actually overly disappointed for the fact. Like, I was comparing it to other State of Play, so I think in comparison to other State of Plays, it was actually a really good show. The other shows I've rated really low, so this is a rating comparatively to other ones. I would rate it a 7 for the State of Play. But again, you're right. There wasn't a lot shown. There was a lot shown for what we can expect coming to Xbox later on, and I was sorry, tickly throat.
You okay?
Yeah, I might
You
have
okay?
glass water in a moment. And I was excited for. Oh, 1 second. All right, I'm dying apparently.
You're excited for Stray though,
I'm
even
a
though
cat
Elite
person.
just shit on it.
I'm a cat
Yeah.
person, so I was like, that was the highlight of the show for me. I'm not a Final Fantasy fan, never have been, and I'm still waiting for them to make a game that will actually entice me. And to all those who like Final Fantasy, it's just my preference and my opinion doesn't do anything for me. I'm not those fighting game fans. So I'm not a Street Fighter. Did nothing for me. I was actually just happy that PlayStation gamers are going to get to play Tunic. That was nice. They get to experience that game. For those who say that games aren't coming day and date to the PS Plus, well, Stray's coming day and date, so you don't need to buy it if you've got a subscription there. So they are modelling what's happening in the Game Pass space. Obviously not with the AAA titles, but that might come later on down the line when they're actually making enough of a profit that they can offset that and put their games there. Or just say, if you've got the subscription, it's heavily discounted for you guys. So you can still buy the game, but at a really good discount if you subscribe. But yeah, I mean, the PlayStation, like, Spider-Man going to PC, that was like their one saving grace. It was like their one AAA title that they still had holding on to, like,
Oh my God.
they were holding on to that thing for dear life. It is gone.
That was
And did anyone see that guy
Bread's
going?
crazy. That's right. That was the last bake of unleavened bread for the month.
Well, you can't blame them because even Insomniac said it will never go to PC.
Yes.
They said that themselves.
Yeah,
now look what Guru just said, y'all.
They had
That's
they had that tweet, right?
Shit.
Someone found that tweet and then put that up and said, "Hey, guess
know.
what? You've been
Remember
called
this?
4K."
And that's why I'm not convinced that Ratchet and Clank Rift Apart can't be played on a PS4.
It's going to PC.
Are you
It's going
talking
to
about
PC.
that elusive
And if it can
cancer,
play on
it's going to
PC,
cancer,
that means it can play on PS4 too.
cancer
Yep.
curing SSD? Is that what you're referring to?
100%.
Yeah,
Right.
Exactly, right? It's just, it's unbelievable. It really is.
It is.
Actually, I'm going to say something. I'm going to say something terrible here. I actually agreed at one point during Amazing Lucas's breakdown that I agreed with him on one point because he said, you know, when he was at a breakdown at Spider-Man, he said, "Why don't they just put these games on their new PS Plus subscription,
Yep.
which is also on PC?" He said, "Why port them directly to PC?" Which I kind of agree. Why don't they put them on their PS Plus system and try to just get that revenue boosted up and get money that way, rather than port them directly to PCs? You can actually buy them. So they must just be
They want
thinking
the
there isn't
sales.
much of a revenue in that. Yeah,
Because if
they
you look at
must.
it,
Yeah, they want the
anytime
sales
that they've
rather than
put-
just the revenue.
Anytime they've put extra time or development into a game around, whether it was a next-gen patch or anything like that, they've charged for that. So the time and development that goes
Yeah.
into porting the game to PC, they will charge for it. And that's what they're doing in this instance around that. But, like, for them to turn around and just, you know, say, "Oh, it's okay because it's a 4-year-old game," you were telling us, as the toxic part of their community were telling us, it's not okay. This game's never coming to PC. But if you look at it, every game has been coming to PC eventually on the PlayStation side. Jim Ryan's been telling you for months and for the last 2 years that they are expanding out to PC. Like, I don't know how many ways he can kind of explain this to you before you understand.
It's Red. It's because he doesn't say it directly, and
Yeah.
they can't understand it, right? If he said Spider-Man is coming to PC, they probably still wouldn't fucking get it.
Right.
The fact that he's not even saying that, he's just saying we're going to go to third-party, platforms. They
That's
can't
too much.
comprehend what the
Yeah.
fuck that means, and they
That's
go,
too much vocabulary.
I'm just annoyed that
exactly.
they've turned a positive of this game going to PC, this game being played by more gamers, the PlayStation making more
shit.
money, and turned it into a negative
Oh.
by going, "Oh, it's okay, 'cause
Right.
you get our seconds." And I'm like, are you fucking kidding me? Get
Right.
over yourselves. Like, that's how toxic you are, that you can't understand that more people to get to and enjoy an experience that you coveted and you spent forever telling us that this game is amazing and so on and so forth. And now you're just kind of putting it to the side and going, well, you know, it's all right, guys. We had it first. Doesn't matter. Do you see Xbox gamers consistently drowning, like, shutting that narrative down your throat?
Red Dead.
No.
You know what Red Dead? The problem is that community is fake. It's always been fake. All right. I don't like. Sometimes it's good to laugh at them, and it's good to make jokes, but they need people to just tell the truth, and that's where I come in at. Right. I've been there when PlayStation was first came out. I saw the CD player console, and I saw how they promoted PlayStation 2. They never promoted that game as a game console. Okay. This is what a lot of these doofuses don't get. Sony didn't promote the PlayStation 2 as a video game console. That was never their takeover notion. The takeover notion was not just video games, but movies and media. They wanted to get rid of the PC, the desktop at your house. That's what they wanted to get rid of. That was their MO. So when they were selling that PlayStation 2, people don't realize, like when Nintendo sells the hell out of their consoles, that's off of gaming. Can't do nothing else with a Nintendo. When they saw 125 million, 144 million, they're gaming. When PlayStation was selling its 155 million consoles, the majority of people that was buying the PlayStation 2, and this isn't something that you would find in articles. I dare you to try to find it in the gaming articles back then. No, you just had to live it. You saw it. People were going to buy the PlayStation 2 to watch Blu-rays. They were watching DVD movies.
I remember going around to my friend's house and they had a PS2 and we were watching movies through it because it was just easy enough to get it like the 2 for 1, right? Games and entertainment in that regard.
That's exactly right. It was the PlayStation 2 was the biggest success for PlayStation because they could sell all their media on it.
It was the cheapest DVD player.
It was ever.
Yep.
And that's why later on, like my man J-Rock had put up on Twitter, the actual picture of the sale of the picture of the PlayStation 2, right? Being sold. But what were they bundling? Movies. They wasn't even bundling video games. They were bundling movies. Look at the PlayStation 3. When it came out, what was the movie that they were pushing for it? The Spider-Man trilogy.
Spider-Man.
That's right. Even the PlayStation 3 logo, the lettering was based off of the Spider-Man lettering. They never was pushing. What game can they push? Tell me. I keep asking people, what game can Sony really push that's going to really just sell on its own without ever going on sale? Like, when? I don't know one game.
I guess we have PlayStation.
Gran Turismo. I'm sorry, Gran Turismo.
You're good. Okay, I was just saying we have like PlayStation and like Nintendo for why Xbox even came into the gaming industry with Microsoft, because they were like people were stuck in their offices playing on like using their PC and stuff, and they wanted to bring people out of that, and like they wanted to be in the center hub of the home so anyone could use their systems, and so they saw that PlayStation was being used for that. They were in the lounge of every household, and not everyone owned a PC, and they wanted to match that. And then Xbox comes along, and they've done a great job. And yes, they tripped last generation, but they've kind of picked themselves up and moved, and just moved along at pace. Like thanks to Phil Spencer, in part, and for Microsoft trusting in Phil Spencer to push them forward. And we've got this great generation as a result.
And to be honest, on the smoke and mirror tip, for all y'all that still doubt that terminology, if you ever watched the documentary for Xbox, it's right in that documentary. That's 22 years ago. Yep. Like, even more than that, because Seamus Blackley and his team, they saw the BS. He called it. He said it on there. They could not really grasp the fact that people were really buying into Sony's BS about the PlayStation. And that is the core of why Xbox was created. Yeah. They wanted to actually make a real console and make a console to live up to what it could do. They knew that what Sony was selling for that PlayStation 2 was a bunch of bogus BS. That's in the documentary. So the smoke, that's how long that Sony has been breastfeeding these goofy dudes, man. These goofy dudes, they've been breastfeeding them smoke. That's why, Guru, you see them like they are, man. I keep telling people that. It's like that's the truth. That's the reason why they're like they are. Because all they know is Sony's tits. They don't know nothing else, man. And Sony's been BSing them for over 22 years. Think about that. Basically the PlayStation community is trained. It's trained. That's what it is, man. It's trained. They're like robots. They call us Xbox, but they're really the robots.
Yeah, and
they're really the robots.
Again, the casuals are just, they hear Sony, they hear PlayStation, and they just buy it. They don't even think about it.
Their friends are using it. Their friends are telling them Xbox is trash. Get a PlayStation, and they just listen to it.
That's it. That's all it takes.
I've been to people's houses, and I'm like, "Oh, you play games? You got a PlayStation?" They go, "Nah, just use it for movies and DVDs."
Facts. This is the reality. Exactly. That's the reality.
Time, but I think next topic. We kind of jumped around because we tried to paste it into our chat, which didn't really work properly for us for some reason. But I think this is probably a good chance to transition into our next topic. But before we do, for you guys out there, like and share this out, please. We've got a great guest. Illegals joined us today. First time on a podcast with him, and it's all gravy. Yeah. Now, our next topic. Yes, our next topic to transition over is apparently the Xbox Series S is proving to be basically a behemoth in sales, and the opposite community, the PlayStation guys on Twitter, are calling for the figures not to be counted in the sales, saying that it's a weaker console and it shouldn't be included. I'd love to hear you guys' take on this because it's a hot topic this week, or it has been.
Yeah, it's been you.
So, Red,
who was go first?
Let's start with Red. I want to hear a female's voice.
Yeah, I love hearing female
Could
voices.
touch some grass, ashtray. No, I'm kidding.
Smells the maiden.
I just think it's hilarious, actually, that this is now a talking point again, because they told us like a couple of months ago that the Series S needed to stop being counted as part of Xbox current gen sales figures, and now they're trying to downplay it by saying, well, it's more readily available. Xbox was smart with the way they did their generation. They split the console, one weaker system where they can make two Series S's for every Series X that they make. So they can get more of that console out. They're aiming for the casual market, because if Phil wants to go to however many billion players out there, whether that's PC, mobile, console, people who use the TV, whatever you want, part of that is giving them something small, attractive, and cheap to actually, as an entry-level device into gaming that way. So I think it's a really smart move, and I think for people to say like stop the count in this regard, it's not a last gen console. It is just a weaker version. If we want to talk about that and go, well, let's pretend that the PS4 sales don't count, right? Because obviously the PS4 Pro is the more powerful console. Like, that's how stupid the conversation is. Let's pretend that the Xbox One sales don't count because the Xbox One X came out and that's the more powerful console. They have just chosen two different ways to do the generation, and because of the shortages, PlayStation can't sell as many consoles. Yes, that is a fact. The Series X is also impacted because they were using the Series X consoles for the server blades for xCloud.
I love how she says X.
It's just a fact. They were using it for xCloud, so they didn't have enough Series X's available for us at launch because they were upgrading their cloud gaming services for us as gamers, and now they've stopped doing that. There are more Series X's readily available. Obviously, the Series S is still everywhere. Basically, you can go anywhere and get a Series S, and that's the point. If you want to pick up a console, they have made it available, and the cost to entry into this generation is cheaper as a result, smaller as a result, and just like you're getting Game Pass as well. Like they've done such a great thing in that regard. They're taking away the barriers to entry, whereas you guys who think it's stop the count are putting up barriers and gatekeeping what it means to be a gamer. Because if we're going to talk about gaming on a weaker system, anything prior to this generation is weaker. So if you're still playing on a PS4, fuck off.
Stop talking about your own
If you're still
community,
playing on
man.
an Xbox One,
Right.
bugger
You're
off.
talking
That's
about
what
your
you're
own
talking
community.
about. Yeah, you're just being
Exactly.
stupid at this point.
Right.
Sorry, I'll
Right.
continue ranting later, but anyone else want to have a go?
No, I'll make mine short and Ashtray can have it. I'm mine's short. Stop crying, man. Stop sounding like a bunch of bitches. Stop crying. Xbox is winning every month, man. Xbox is doing good, and that's what's really got y'all hurt. Well, look, man, Xbox is just gonna do good this generation.
Competition
That's
is
it.
there.
I mean, that's all, man. Who cares? Like at the end of the day, if you have an Xbox Series X, you're gonna always have the better version of gameplay. You're gonna have the better version of visuals. Get over it, man. It's just what it is. Get mad at Sony for not making the better product. I'm done.
Yeah, and that's true, man. Xbox came at this gen with a 1-2 punch, right? They had the Series S as the left hook, and then the X as the right hook, and so we smashed them on power and on price. Now the Series S, okay, it's classed as being weaker, but it has RDNA 2 features. The only thing that it doesn't do as well as the PS5, for example, is resolution.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of people are happy to play it 1440p. A lot of people are still happy to play it 1080p. I mean, I'm not, but that's why I went for the Series X. But a lot of people still are. So in saying that as well, it up-reses to 4K anyway. So you're still getting, it's a Forks 4K, but you're still getting a 4K image in some cases. But the main thing is you're getting 60 FPS. It's got RDNA 2 features, which means that it's still going to improve and get better. It's still got machine learning and all that kind of stuff. So is it really a weaker console?
Mm-hmm.
I don't think so, right? And they went, all right, how are we going to cover all our bases? Again, they went power and price point, and look how it's turned out for them. It's a genius move, and they'll probably continue to do that going forward every other generation. So it's as simple as that. They can cry as much as they like. It is what it is. It's a new gen console.
Why is it okay?
We're playing new gen games on it.
Yeah, why is it okay for people to spend money on a PS5, but it's not okay for people to spend money on an Xbox?
They hate
Xbox. Why? Like, it doesn't matter. Like, Xbox is here.
Humans...
They've got great games. There are some games that you wouldn't be playing if Xbox wasn't around because of the ID and Xbox program.
Humans hate things that they don't understand. They fear things that they don't understand. These guys fear Xbox. They hate Xbox, man, and they fear it. So
they don't understand PlayFab. They don't understand PlayFab, man. That's the funny thing about it. When we literally say that Sony's a customer, they have no idea how this business runs. They don't understand PlayFab, and they don't even understand who owns that. Like, Microsoft owns the whole estate. Let me just put it like that. The whole estate of this whole situation, how games come in and go out, Microsoft owns PlayFab. What's PlayFab? It is the place where over 600 million games reside at, and where new games can come in and old games can go out. And when they make the deals, these games come out, right? Who do you think they gotta go? They gotta walk on the property, and this is everybody. Nintendo's gotta come to PlayFab. Sony's gotta come to PlayFab. They don't understand this stuff, man. But when you're the man, when you're really the man, you don't have to say nothing. That's why Microsoft doesn't say anything. It's the minute they boast about what they have, it's childish to them. Like, why would you boast? Oh, we have PlayFab and everybody has to come to us. Why would you say that? Why would you say that to your customers, right? If you're owning a business, what's the most loyal thing to your business? Your customers. So you do everything you look at. There you go. Microsoft isn't in the business of destroying Sony. Sony's not in their competition. It's Google and Apple, because they actually have cloud. Sony and Nintendo don't have those things. They're behind. What did Phil say? They're outdated. That wasn't a diss. That was just telling the truth. Like, we're not going to be bothered with these two companies right here and go the same route that they can only possibly go. See, we can go other routes. We're not stuck to this VHS route. We're not stuck to it. So we're going to show y'all that we're not stuck to it. And for years, the donkeys beat on us about, y'all, the reason why Microsoft doesn't want to report sales because their consoles ain't selling that well. That's why y'all want it to be a console sales war. We know because that's the
They're
only
trying to keep the
avenue you
old
have.
narrative alive, right?
Right. That's your old narrative. But when those services arise and you see that the engagement it really wasn't on your platform and that the engagement was on Xbox platform, you saw that that Xbox is the most popular console in the world, not PlayStation, even though PlayStation's selling these consoles. Now you're trying to wonder, well, damn, how did all of a sudden Xbox take the gaming market away and they don't have no games? How is this happening? See, y'all don't understand. Y'all don't get it. Y'all don't get it, but you will this generation. That's the one good thing I said that will happen to the donkey community, y'all, is that when this generation's all said and done, there'll be smarter gamers after this generation.
I mean, you look at Dark Doc 189 or whatever his name is on YouTube and such and Twitch and Twitter, and he was PlayStation solely for many years, and he's coming into the Xbox generation and the Xbox community and the ecosystem and so on and so forth, and there are plenty of games for him to play because he's never played them before. So if you're coming from a generation or a console where you've never played Xbox and you get Game Pass, there's a lot on there that you can enjoy. That is Xbox first party. Yes, there's going to be a wait for a lot of games towards the end of the year and so on and so forth, but we don't know what's coming on this side for June. I mean, Starfield got delayed and so did Redfall, and then we find out that Sniper Elite 5 is being released on Game Pass day one, which is just a nice little thing to kind of tide us over a little bit around that front.
So glad she said that.
Yeah.
I'm so glad she said that. You know what, Red Dad, you said the realest aspect of why I have an Xbox period. I could care less if Xbox doesn't have any exclusives. That never bothered me, right? Never bothered me. That was never the reason why I bought the Xbox. What your analogy is the reason I bought Xbox. If you can put the games, if you can put these day and date games on Game Pass, and I don't have to pay top dollar for them, and you have to, that's the reason I have an Xbox. It's self-explanatory.
Yeah.
It's self-explanatory. That makes it a game. See, they don't understand the word exclusivity either. It has too many meanings. Like there's so many meanings. You have a timed exclusive. You have console exclusive. You have what is it?
Fanboy exclusive at this point.
That's true. And then you actually have the word exclusive, right? So you have all these different types of meanings for the different types of reasons for the exclusive. So what if I tell somebody, hey, this game is a Game Pass exclusive? Would I be lying to you? I wouldn't be, because Sniper Elite 5 is a Game Pass exclusive. Where you gonna get it at? See, Game Pass isn't Steam. It's Xbox. Game Pass is Xbox. So look how they're learning about Xbox. Now they're seeing that Xbox is exactly what its real name is, DirectX. Is DirectX hardware or software? It's software. So Xbox now is in its full-grown stage, where now it can go anywhere it wants to go. It can take over your PC, it can take over your console, it can take over your phone, it can take over your handheld. Xbox goes wherever it wants to go. It's not contained in just in a console. Are you crazy? That wasn't the overall vision 10 years ago for this thing. Microsoft knew where they were going to take it. When they added the Azure cloud as a fundamental headquarters, Xbox was no longer going to just be secluded to the console space. Once that happened, it's impossible to even think that way, right? And then then if you're trying to reach 2 billion gamers, that's totally impossible because they don't make 2 billion consoles. Like I said, the plateau number for the whole entire console space is 250 billion. This is how they know. This is how the industry knows when to start coming up with another console. When those numbers start getting close to 250 million, okay, everybody, let's bring out the next one, because they know it's going to plateau. They know this for so many years. That's it. So they've already drawn the margin. They're like, okay, 250 million is it. Sony knows that, Nintendo knows that, and Microsoft knows that, and everybody else in the game industry that comes along knows that. They all know that. So there it is. So how else are you going to get the rest of the gamers? Okay, what about those millions on mobile? All right, we're going to get them. What about all those gamers on PC then? Okay, we're going for them. Hell, China alone has what? 650 million gamers? That's 3 times as many as the United States does. That's insane. They got more. China has more gamers than we do people.
I think the reason why Xbox started buying up a lot of these publishers and that is because they want to keep people like Apple and Amazon out of the market. I don't think they want them in because they see them as the threat, as you sort of mentioned before. I think if we see Amazon sort of buying up, say if they bought up Bethesda or if they bought up Activision, I think we'd see a completely different gaming market and things would evolve and change pretty quickly, which would actually push Sony right out. Sony wouldn't compete then if Amazon had bought Bethesda and then Xbox had bought Activision and then Apple had bought EA, say by then and then you get these big $1 trillion companies buying up these gaming companies because gaming is now bigger than music and television.
There you go. That's right.
Start buying up these massive companies. Sony won't
bigger than
stand a
movies,
chance
Guru.
against these. Yeah,
That's right.
It is bigger than movies, and Sony won't compete at all. And especially as if you've watched the Sony movies recently, their division, like the Morbius, their films are awful. So it's like they really rely on their gaming. PlayStation is carrying Sony, and they will die quickly.
Right.
If they don't give up. And I think, if anything, Microsoft is where Xbox is really helping them out by buying these big publishers. And I hope, because we've talked about EA going for sale, I hope Xbox buy them because I don't want to see them going to Amazon or Apple at all. So, and I think it'd be great for Game Pass anyway. Imagine if you get all the games that are in, because that are in EA that went to Game Pass Day 1, all those sports games in Game Pass Day 1. So that'd be amazing.
I think the biggest selling point, though, for them, hopefully, not just the money on EA side, is the preservation of gaming is what us as gamers, regardless of whether you're a Nintendo fan, PC fan, PlayStation fan, or Xbox fan, or even is the preservation of how we like to game. Because if we get a company in who purchases like EA or something, and they completely change it, and it's all just about making money. Yes, it's about making money at the end of the day, but like if they completely change the essence of what it means around those games, it's just ruining the industry, what we love. And so I think, like, if Microsoft grabs it, fine. They've shown time and time again that they will keep gaming as is and make sure that nothing changes overtly. Yes, everything's evolving, but like if we get a company who doesn't care and it's just like, let's change the game, let's add everything as games as a service, let's add microtransactions to the be all end all of everything, and let's charge for every piece of like DLC or anything that comes through. I think it will be really sad if we get a company that buys it and changes it completely, and we're like, don't destroy EA. EA's destroyed itself. Don't destroy it any more than it has.
Because EA games are obviously multi-plat, right? So if a business like Apple buys it, it could potentially become locked behind their system and their infrastructure. Whereas if Xbox gets it, it'll still be on PC and console and mobile. So it's still going to be technically multi-platform. And they might even still release it on PlayStation. It really won't matter at this point because they'll be paying $70 and we'll be getting it through our subscription. So at that point, it doesn't matter. So I think, it's just better if Xbox get it so that it's still available for everyone to play.
But touching on the sales, I was just going to say that, I mean, when you go back to the PlayStation 4, it released £100 cheaper than the Xbox One. But there didn't seem to be, the PlayStation 4 was £100 cheaper than the Xbox One, wasn't it, at launch?
More powerful.
It was cheaper because the Xbox One had the
the Kinect
shit. Yep.
Yeah. I think even if after they removed that, wasn't it still the same price? I'm not too sure, was it?
No, it dropped 100.
Yeah, but then that was about a year or so after.
And it makes you a better gamer.
Yeah, it did. and if you look at the PlayStation 4, their first couple of years was dire. They didn't really release anything either. A lot of their games come sort of mid towards the end of the generation, didn't it? Mid-gen towards the end of the generation. It wasn't until about 2016 they started dropping their big first-party games like Uncharted,
Yeah,
four.
a couple through the middle and the rest of the back end. Yeah, it was known as
Yeah,
the
it
indie
wasn't.
station.
Yeah, exactly, and that was okay. That was fine by all the publishers and everyone, all the media and stuff. That's fine. You know, they was doing the right thing.
It's
And
genius.
it's all about rare resolutions back then, oddly, but now it's not. It's completely flipped, and then everyone's calling out Xbox because they've not released the first party game for 1 year. So, but yeah,
Well, less than that.
4, yeah, well, yeah, less than that. Yeah,
Halo
PlayStation
Infinite.
4, yeah, which only come out 6 months ago. PlayStation 4, yeah, it was cheaper, and it had two. The entire generation had 3 SKUs. I think there was a PlayStation 4, there was a PlayStation 4 Slim, and then there was a PlayStation Pro. Obviously. So there's 3 SKUs. At no point did they divide up those SKUs into different sales and say, right, this is the PS4 sales. We're going to ignore the PS Slim sales and the PS4 Pro sales. We're just going to go on the PS4 sales. At no point did that happen. It's a ridiculous argument to have, just because basically you're losing your own argument. Basically, using your own argument, so you can change the narrative. That on top of that, I'm really getting bored of the stock. If it's not that, then it's because there's no stock. There's no stock, and we've seen about a month ago, I think Sony come out and said they're upping their stock. They've even took stock out of Japan. Apparently, that was their argument. The reason why it lost Japan is because they took all the stock out of Japan and moved it to America. So then why is it still not winning America then? If they've moved all the Japan stock over, why is it still losing?
The Series S.
So I just don't get the narratives. They just keep twisting them and moving them around, and this is Xbox without games.
You know it's bad when E.G.G. has to start telling the truth. You know it's bad.
Yeah. Well, and in 2020, if you think now is bad, imagine 2023 when Xbox delayed games all start dropping.
Oh my gosh.
When you've got your Forza Motorsport, when you've got your Starfield, when you've got your Redfall, and then they must have these games were due to drop this year.
Remember what Guru is saying right now.
They would have had games planned to drop in 2023. We don't know what they are yet. It could be Hellblade 2. So imagine when those games drop. So in 2023, you're going to have your Hellblade 2, Forza Motorsport, your Starfield, your Redfall, whatever other games, and then you've got all your third party stuff like Ark 2. They're just gonna blaze through.
I'll tell you what the stages are gonna be like, Guru. First is gonna be denial. They're gonna throw narratives up, right? You so stupid, girl. Seriously.
Oh,
right?
shit.
Like, right here comes the stage. Here come the stages, Ash. Right here it comes. Once it starts happening, the denial, the narratives, and then the stupid posts come, right? Then their leaders come out making dumb posts, right? And then all the likes start popping off, and then the games start dropping, and then they start wanting to talk about the scores on the game, and they're not exclusive, you know. Then when that fails them, and the games keep dropping, because notice what I'm saying, the games will keep dropping, and then they'll get mad at Sony. And then they'll start petitioning against Sony. And then they'll start losing their minds and start making videos where they're mad and breaking their TVs and smashing them and throwing them off balconies. Those are the stages.
That's the stage
that's
of
the
anger.
last step. That's right. That's the last step. Those are the stages of donkeyism right there. So I'm letting you know, so get prepared for it. Because it's coming.
Well,
it's coming.
I think it's interesting, though. Like, all these narratives, the reason they're so salty is their fault. They created all these narratives. They set themselves up to fail. They were like, this is what it means to be a gamer. You have to own a PlayStation 5 last generation. This is that. This is... And it's like, you did this to yourself because now you have to talk back and realize, actually, it means being a gamer is about playing video games. Doesn't matter when you choose to play them.
How the hell does somebody tell you what a game it is when they're not gaming themselves?
I don't know. They're just
maybe Elite could answer that.
Yeah, Elite, what have you got to say?
Messy. I always pick on him when he goes away, but that's okay. But I agree with you, Legal, on that, man. It's always that sort of the 8 stages of depression type of thing with these guys, right? It's the confusion, then the emotion, then the anger and denial and all that sort of stuff. But it happens so quick with these guys. It's not. Right. It's almost like one stage for them because it's just a big outburst as opposed to a slow process.
Yep. Right. It's one big outburst of accumulated emotions. Y'all wonder why me and Ashtray just get on Twitter and laugh all day. Y'all want us to get mad. What's there to be mad about, man? We got our Xboxes. We're not mad at nothing. We're just y'all give us a good entertainment, man. Every single day is something with y'all, man. And y'all don't even, you know what's sad is that they don't even talk about the PlayStation. That's the only part about PlayStation I really feel sorry about. Like, I do PlayStation. I really do. I wish your community would talk more about you and show your greatness that you declare you have. Because maybe if they did that, the new legal might do something he's never done in his whole life. But, it ain't going to happen.
You mean you want to be part of a community that doesn't just bring people down and is actually joined together and enjoys gaming and isn't there to trash talk other gamers?
Exactly, Red. Exactly.
I agree. It's hard wanting to be part, like, go play those games, and like I don't think I'd want to play online with some of them,
right?
Because once they know you're an Xbox gamer, are assholes. But I mean, a lot of my friends who are on PlayStation are generally pretty lovely. I know that, like, I'm open with my work around what I choose to play on. But I remember telling someone that I'm a gamer, and they're like, "Oh, what do you play?" And I said Xbox, and they're like, "What?" Like that, and I was like, "Well, it's not a negative, because they're brought into that whole what it means to be a gamer and really game is to own a PlayStation." And I think that narrative needs to be shut down big time, and I think the community can do that if we can all come together and stop being stupid, and actually join and say, yes, you own a PlayStation, I own Xbox, you play on PC, you play on Nintendo, but it's never going to happen because egos are a thing, and
it only happens with the real gamers. Yeah. Real gamers don't care about that. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm not even going to elaborate to that. Just real gamers don't care about that. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
No, you're right. Exactly. Like
we never cared about that
at work as well,
right?
Man. And we're all on different consoles or peripherals, whatever, and it doesn't matter. We just talk. And
that's the beauty.
It's what it is. It's gaming. It doesn't matter if he plays on PC or what, you know. So
that's true. What makes the conversation special in gaming is the games that are not on the other console. That's the only thing. Most of the time, you're gonna have a conversation with somebody that's playing a third-party game that you know about. That's most of the time. So there's never really a reason to even have these debates when you're talking to somebody, because most of the time, people that I'm bumping into now, all they're bringing up is Elden Ring. Elden Ring. I'm on Elden Ring. I'm on Elden Ring. Well, everybody plays Elden Ring. It doesn't matter what console you have. So there you have it. But if I say, hey, man, I can't wait for Starfield, now he's going to say, what's that? Because if he doesn't have an Xbox, he doesn't even know about that. So, oh, man, Starfield, you ain't heard, man? That's one of the biggest games. Look, man, oh, man, you mean the Xbox going to have that? That's how it truly works. Yeah, man. Man, then you start showing them all these games that ain't on there. See, we can actually do that. Actually do that. And that's real. Just like if you use PlayStation. Oh, you know. But the one thing I've always learned about PlayStation details is that you'll have to lie. I don't like lying.
I don't like lying.
Because the minute you say next generation, you lied. The minute you say that, you lied to somebody. The only nothing that the PlayStation 5 has is next generational. Nothing. Absolutely nothing. The only thing that it does have is the controller. That's what's next generation. That DualSense is a bad piece of tech right there, man. That's a bad piece of tech. But I don't.
With the 2-hour battery life.
Yeah,
right. But that's what I'm saying. But I'm a grown ass man, dog. What it look like me with a controller blowing on it? Come on, man. I got too many kitty cats around me for that, man. Blowing on no controller. I got too many kitty cats around me. Get out of here with that, man.
So I'm back now. I've got myself another rum and coke and some Nobby's nuts, Farku. You know Nobby's nuts? They're like nuts that are coated in some sort of crisp substance.
We thought you went off for a poo.
I'm gonna let that one sit, Elite. I'm gonna be the bigger person this time for once.
if I'd gone for a poo, I would have left my mic on.
No, Red, you used to Elite now, aren't you? You used to him now. Look.
Oh yeah.
She knows how to deal with him now. Look. Yeah, she knows. She knows how to deal with him now.
She says no, it means yeah.
Yeah.
Facts.
Yeah.
And I'm glad. I'm glad that you guys stuck together, man. I remember the day Guru introduced me to you, Red. We was actually on Mixer,
Yep.
and y'all came into my party chat. And no, actually,
We were at a
Guru
party.
sent me he sent me an invite to join the party. It was like 1 o'clock in the morning. You know how it is when
Yep.
Guru used to hang out. Because me and Guru, look, it was funny. Because I have to say this real quick, y'all. I know this is off topic, but this is real talk. I would be up on a Saturday just gaming. Next thing I get a message from Guru, and that'd be about what 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock ish. And Guru's up. He'll hit me up, and we'll get into that. We'll get into that party. And this is a true story. And I'll be gaming, and he'll be talking. Next thing you know, we'll be hitting these good subjects, and I'll tell Guru, let's do a show. It's on Downright Gaming. It's true. Guru, we'll do a show. Guru will get off at 3:30. It'll be 3:30 in the morning, my time, and we'll be going to bed. And that's how we did it. That's how we used to do it. Let's do it, man. And we'll do it.
Still doing that. Still doing that. Thanks to Red.
And I remember the day. He introduced me to you, Red, and it's good to see that you guys have stuck it together and actually made something happen. Because I'm glad Guru got somebody within his time frame. Because I always wanted to get with him, but our time schedules are off bad. It's off bad. But he finally got a good partner to help him with his show, and y'all grown this show real nicely with adding Ashtray Gaming.
Yeah.
And so now you guys are like the Australian, New Zealand, UK powerhouse, man, and I love it, man, that y'all sticking together. And that, listen, it and like Guru and I, we don't care about numbers. All right, let's get that out there right now. We just love doing what we do. So it's channels like you guys I love to come to and just get the rawness, because I know there's no propaganda. I know it's not for tit for tat. Y'all are gonna speak from y'all's heart, and that's it. And the gaming streets deserve that. It deserves that. It don't deserve the propaganda, man. We get enough of that stuff. It deserves the realness. So I appreciate you guys always coming up to me every now and then and asking me to be on y'all show, man, because I love being here. And y'all know I do it. Y'all know I do.
We just love talking games, right? Doesn't matter.
And you can't beat Red Dead Panda's voice. Nobody can beat this voice. It's galactic, bro.
I think Ashtray has something to say about that, but
No, I'm not gonna do it. Don't do it. But no, it is good to get everyone together, man. And this is what gaming's all about, right?
Yeah.
It's about getting people together, regardless of what you look like, where you're from, and all that sort of shit, right? And it just works out really well that we're able to form this panel.
Yeah.
Have you guys like you on illegal to help sort of bolster that out and get different perspective. And
right.
And that's what it's all about. And we're a community. We all go back and forth on Twitter all the time. We're usually always on the same page with each other. Yeah, play games together, and this is just where we can sort of sit down and actually discuss things more than 170 characters. So
that's true.
It's really good. It's our platform. Get to hear our voices.
That's right. What I like about you guys is that I can get the news a day ahead of time.
We wish we had your subscribers that you do, because Legal, because you've taken off now. I think you're closing on 1.5k. You're shooting up now. But I just like to shout out to the chat. We've got a load of people just joined the chat. We've got, what is it? Distinctive 170, Distinctive.
Oh, Distinctive 1. What's good?
Yeah, we've got that guy. We've got is Farq still here? Tryhard still here? Boba Fett the Fraud is still here. We've got Shadowless Edge has joined us. Smitty Smith, Cork.
Oh, Smitty Smith in here. I can't see him.
A bunch of boys.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
Yeah, we've got that one.
No, Guru, you got a champion of the. You got a champion. You got a champion of the chat, man. And you got to come up with a nickname. Y'all got to come up with a nickname for your chat room. I'm Chit Chat. Technoblast is Chatterbox. Y'all got to come up with something, man.
Ashtray calls me Sex Machine, so we just go with that.
All right, there you go. The echo chamber. I like that.
Remember to share this out on Twitter and drop a sub to the panel. If you've not already dropped a sub to the panel, please drop a sub and a like. I just want to cover what Tryhard just said. Is it boring to only discuss positive gaming in podcasts? No, we'd like to talk about more positive stuff, but let's just be honest here. There's not been that much positive stuff recently about gaming. I mean, what positive stuff is there being really?
I'll
I
tell
think
you
maybe
something
it's just the
positive.
headlines.
I think it.
I'll tell them something positive.
We
Hey, I've
covered
been playing
positive. We
Sniper.
covered the
Watch this.
sales, Xbox sales.
Watch how easy this is. It's how easy it is. All right. We got somebody in here that's must be emotional right now. We've been talking too highly about Xbox and talking too lowly about PlayStation, but that's not the deal here. It's just truth over feelings. So let me let you in on some positivity. I've been playing Sniper Elite, man, 5, and I really enjoy the game. I'm glad I didn't have to do anything. It jumped into Game Pass. Game Pass is real lovely, man. If you don't have it, get it. It's great because that game right there is addictive. I love it. If you're into stealth games, it's a game that you might want to get into and play, man. So yeah, I've been playing Sniper Elite 5, man. That's positivity right there. There you go.
Yeah.
There you have it. There you go. But on our last topic was the Series S sort of sales and how well it's going. That's a positive thing.
Yeah, that's
So,
a positive.
you know.
I don't understand. Yeah.
I think it's important to talk about positive things within the industry, but also to call out things that aren't positive, because our community does need to be aware, and some people aren't aware of it, and they focus on the negativity of the console war when it's actually about telling the companies and the developers and such what we want as gamers, so that they provide it, so we continue to invest in their games and in their services. And if we're not calling that out, then we shouldn't be doing a podcast. So I think positivity and also constructive criticism or feedback is really important. But I just think there's enough negativity in the world, so we really should try and focus on positives as much as we can. Yeah. Build each other up.
You know what, Red? I got to say one more thing. I'm going to say one more thing. You're coming down here, right, on my friend's channel that work so hard. They work hard. Even before these two were with Guru, okay? Guru helped me out on a lot of things that a lot of people don't know nothing about. I know him by his real name. I've known him since 2015. And Guru decided a long time ago that he didn't care. All right? So if you don't know something about him, I'm about to let you know. He didn't care, and he wasn't going to pander to people's feelings and things, and he was going to shoot it straight, and I knew it was going to cost him. I knew it was going to cost my friend, because I talked to the guy off the podcast, and there's not a lot of people that have the intellect that he has. I'm just going to be honest. But he chose the road that he chose, and he knew it was going to come with a price. But this is what I really get tired of. People come down to the smaller channels, down here to the streets, knowing damn well that the streets is off limits. We're down here. We don't care. We're not. Nobody's making no money down here and things like that. Guru's channel is not that big. So what does he have to lose? Your feelings? He doesn't. Guru, if you're coming to hear some truth, this is where you'll come. You'll come down here, because the people down here have nothing to lose, nothing to gain. All right? But if you're really focusing on negativity, to come here to say, is it that hard to focus on negativity? I can give you a list of people who built their empires off of it. All I'm saying is, man, keep the same energy. Don't come down here where you know that you won't get attacked. Because I've been up there, right? And I don't care. I don't care. They're human beings to me anyway. I don't care if they got followers. Listen, I didn't had talks with John Linneman. I don't care. If I see something wrong, I call it out. I'll tag them. I'll tag people, whatever, if it gets to that point. Because I feel like everybody has the right to express themselves as long as they're being respectful, right? So it's easy to come down here and tell my friends down here that. Prove to me that you can go upstairs and keep that energy up there. Prove to me that. And then I might take that comment seriously. And that's not a shot. That's not a shot at you. That's just truth over feelings.
I appreciate that, Legal. Thanks, Spot, man. We've gone a long way. And basically, I'd just like to state the facts, and I like balance. Everything needs to be fair and balanced, and I don't like it when. I don't like when the facts are skewed and people just misquote people or just lie. Generally, I don't like that. There should be reasons to do it for anything really in life, but especially for consoles, you shouldn't have to lie for a company. And it's horrible to see, but
a lot of times
we try to keep it positive.
Right.
Try hard.
But a lot of times, Guru, let's be truthful. we're reflecting our community. All right. A lot of times we get our talking points from what we've seen in the day. So we're talking about it.
We're
So
reacting to them. Yeah.
There it is. There it is. So let's not act like we don't know that. Okay. You don't. It's like we bringing up stuff that's apparent. As a matter of fact, if you want to be extra honest, people like us, we're bringing up stuff that's really old. We're talking about old stuff. The smoke and mirrors and all that stuff with Sony, that's old. That's like 22 years old. So like, there's some things that, okay, let's get balanced. People don't think that we won't say something, I guess, quotation marks, negative about Microsoft. There's some things that I don't like about Microsoft. One is I don't like the way they ignore the smoke and mirror tactic. Like, it's okay to have the state of play show, but let's not ignore the fact that how Sony likes to deceive. Like, it's easy to call toxicity out here, but I don't like the way Microsoft don't hold people accountable up there. But I did like when they went at Kotaku. So they showed me something with that. But I also don't like the fact that I don't have my great features anymore. I like the snap feature. I don't care if you didn't. I liked it. And it was something that separated Xbox from all the other consoles. And I would love to have the snap feature back to show my achievements. That way I won't even have to go clicking on my menu screen, open it up, and it's a pip with a ingrown screen, transparent ingrown screen on my screen, showing all the way of my gameplay, just to see if I'm getting achievements or not. That's goofy to me when we already had a system that was working. And they can't make me believe that we can't get it in 2002 and 22 when the technology is better and we had it in 2013. Like, stop it. I see the people out there, the engineers out there saying that stuff. That's a bunch of BS. Like, stop it. So there is some things that I criticize Microsoft about. But like Red Dead Panda said, we already have enough negative double agents and all that in our community to do that for me. So therefore, I don't have to.
Exactly. And the main thing and the main difference is we're not toxic, right?
Amen.
We just say it how it is. If it's negative, whether it's on Xbox, usually it is PlayStation, but there's a reason behind it. It's not an attack, and it's not a toxic cesspool of bullshit that we're coming up with and making lies and moving goalposts around and things like that. We're just talking straight. And if it upsets you that what you're hearing is opposite to how you feel or how you think, you may need to look into yourself and go, well, why is this affecting me so much? Why do I get upset that they're talking negatively about PlayStation and Xbox for that matter? I've got Xbox guys blocked because they're so hardcore that they don't like when I speak the truth. When I say stuff like, a couple of years ago, Xbox's showcase was lackluster, and they're like, how could you say that, man? And I'm like, because for me it was. And they got upset about it, and started attacking me. I'm like, really? Like, you cannot tell me that Xbox does no wrong, because they do too.
Right.
They don't do everything right. They're still learning.
Yep.
They still make mistakes. They still do things that are anti-consumer. They
like
still
making a
have
date.
Internal issues.
Right, like making a date, like saying a game is about to come out on this date and then it doesn't. I held Microsoft accountable for that. I spoke my mind on that. Don't put out dates and then the game don't come out on the date. I'm okay with delaying a game, but don't ever say the date and then the game don't come out. Like, you gotta hold them accountable. It is what it
100%.
is. Right.
100%. Exactly. We're here to game, right? And if we don't get those games, we're gonna ask questions. We're gonna say what's going on.
I've blocked some Xbox fanatics, and I actually blocked Kid Smooth as well. But that was about that thing you put on Twitter that time about the animal being ripped apart and killed by those dogs. I just thought that was just weird and brutal and nasty.
Yeah.
And he was laughing about it. I just thought it was weird. So I was on block. But where was we? I think I was going to read off someone's tweet. We still got all the guys there in chat. So it's all still going good. We got another topic, have we?
We got one more. It's only a small one. Either way, I've got to jump out in about 15 minutes. So, yeah, I've got an appointment to see my financial
You're
guy.
going to get anus bleached again, right?
Yes, it's Ains bleaching.
Yes. Okay, fine.
Yeah.
I'm getting
They
that done
bleached the
again.
wrong colour, didn't they? I bet it was pink or like green. They made it green. You got a green ring.
Jeez, apologies, Legal, for this.
No, y'all good, man. I know, man. I know.
He loves it.
I'm having
No,
fun, man.
Got the
if I've
latest
got
on.
if
Yeah,
I've
you
got
just
this
got-
correctly, the last one, because it kind of went all out of order, but even more value with Game Pass Ultimate, if you weren't aware. So I actually switched my Xbox on. I got home, switched it on yesterday afternoon, and there was like a little one of the little boxes on the main screen, and it said Ultimate members get free perks. And so we sort of know about the perk system, but this was a new message, and it said that you can actually get perks for free. And it lists DLC in-game add-ons as a free
Right.
perk, entertainment subscriptions and offers. So that could be a few different things, maybe a subscription service to, I don't know, Paramount Plus or something like that. Film/TV rentals and more. And basically,
Right.
there's not. I clicked in on it and had a look, and there's a few like skins and things you can download for games. There's not a lot there at the moment, but I think this is something that they're going to build upon. Now again, it's only available to the Ultimate Game Pass subscription service, not the base one. So, but it looks like they're developing more perks, Game Pass, and hey, it's nothing but a good thing. Did anyone
And
else see this at all?
Yeah, I did, and I remember about the DLCs, man. That's why I know you're telling the truth about that. The DLCs were already in the vision with Ultimate. Pretty soon, we want the DLCs. If you get that game, if it's as long as it's in Game Pass, your Game Pass Ultimate, and if the DLCs come out, we won't be paying for those either. That's the vision on that, and it's gonna be a beautiful thing when that family plan hits. I'm gonna let y'all know that right now. That family plan hits with Game Pass Ultimate, it's over, man. Bye bye.
All the people
More people coming to Xbox.
all the people leaving Gold and can finally upgrade to Game Pass properly. Yeah.
Facts. Yep.
Yeah, that'd be good because I've got two subscriptions. I got the Ultimate for myself, and I've got the base subscription for my son, for my kids. So, getting a family plan will just tidy that up.
Yep.
And make it a little bit cheaper, I guess.
That's right, and you won't have to worry about him. He'll be on your thing, and that's it. And it'll be separate when he's on his Xbox. It won't even be like the share, right? He'll just be playing. That's right. Just turn his Xbox on, play when he wants. You turn yours, play when you want. It's tied into the family plan. That's it. And I think it's up to 5 consoles again. So I think that's great.
Yeah.
That's a lot. That's a lot of consoles, really.
Yeah.
I'm surprised that they don't sort of break that down into maybe different tiers as well and have one for, say, 3 consoles, 5 consoles.
Oh, that
so on
makes
or
you
something.
look at Guru. You talking about the whole ancestors now, the whole ancestors having an Xbox. That would be ridiculous, wouldn't it? Golly, that'd be crazy. That would, man. That'd be a lot of gaming. That's a lot of gaming. You're right. That's a lot of gaming right there. A lot of happy people. Definitely.
I think it's important. Like, Game Pass essentially is a great way for us, but it's also just building out that ecosystem and they're adding that stuff in there for the people who won't have a console, who will probably get the dongle or the stick or something like that, and they get additional perks and they get access to other things that they would like to have around that, because again, they realize they have to cater to more than the hardcore market, the casual gamers, and part of that is going, hey, if you want a game on Game Pass, here's the DLC free. Like, honestly, I was super excited about that when I played Back 4 Blood, and they gave you 4 additional characters free on the Xbox, but my friends were, because it's cross-platform, my friends playing on the PlayStation, they bought the game, but they only got the standard 4 characters available. They had to pay more to have those other characters available to them, and I didn't have to pay for that because I had it through Game Pass. So that was really, really cool, and I think, PlayStation needs to do more. They're charging for demos and so on and so forth. So call that out. Ask for better. People keep talking about they wanted competition on the Xbox side. The competition is here. Ask for PlayStation to bring more competition, to make it bring more
That's right.
value to you as gamers, and give you
That's right.
everyone a reason to buy a PlayStation. At the moment, the cost to entry for a PlayStation is part of the reason why I'm sitting back here and going, I don't want one. There are some other reasons around that as well, but that's a big thing, is like the cost to play on PlayStation is a lot higher than it is to play on Xbox. Yeah.
And I'm not trying to get bamboozled. I'm a grown man.
Which is why I did question why Sony didn't add things like Crunchyroll to their PS Plus subscription service and stuff like that, because they bought a load of things, didn't they? What's the other Crunchyroll? And they bought some other bit of movie or TV service. I don't know why they're not in their PS Plus system. That would just sell far more, but I don't know. What do I know? But anyway, I think, are we done here? Are we done here, chaps? People?
Are we done?
Ladies?
Oh, yeah.
Are we done? I think so.
I'm getting out of here. I'm out here in the streets. I'm about to start heading towards the house because it's about to get a bad storm. So
Okay.
Ooh.
Well, tell everybody where they can find you, Legal. Thank you so much for joining us, by the way, here from Direct Gaming.
no doubt. I appreciate the roses, Red Dead, that you sent me. I appreciate it.
Oh.
And a box of peanuts.
Yeah.
Scare me about the. No,
Salty
you can check me out here. Facts.
Oh, what are you talking about?
You can check me out here in the streets of Texas, man. Off of Highway 20. I'm out here right now promoting Game Pass for $9.99. And if you want Game Pass Ultimate, you can upgrade for $14.99. It's a great service. Other than that, you can check me out on the Xbox, man. The new Legal's the game, and see the dogs even know. So you can check me out on Xbox, man. The new Legal, catch me out there. You can catch me on Twitch, the new Legal. You can catch me. All that stuff is on the description boxes. You can catch me on Twitter, new Legal. Listen, man, you can catch me anywhere the real Xbox community is at. That's where I'm gonna be at, man. So shout out to the whole entire real Xbox community out there. Thank y'all so much up here. Ashtray Gaming, Elite Gaming Guru, Red Dead Panda. I appreciate y'all. Shout out to that. Shout out to your chat too.
Yeah, it's good having you, mate. Yeah, me and the missus actually looking at going to Texas in a year or so, so I'm right to shut you up and go there.
No doubt, man.
Yeah. Ashtray's he gone?
I'm here. I'm here.
Oh,
I'm here.
Do you want to sound off?
Sure. Well, always a pleasure to be on the panel with you guys. Thanks to Legal for guesting for us, especially at such short notice, man.
No doubt, man.
But yeah, you guys can all catch me on Twitter, Xbox, PlayStation, and YouTube under Ashtray Gaming. It's TREY. I think I'm actually finally going to work on a video tomorrow, which will be the first time in like 2 months, 6 or even longer. So I'll do that and hopefully drop that tomorrow afternoon.
Ooh.
Thanks for having me, guys.
Thank you.
It's all right.
Thank you. Shout out to the chat as per usual. Thank you, Legal, for joining us, and Ashtray as usual, and so on and so forth.
Elite.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm brain dead today. Sorry. Legal. Yeah, I'm just tired.
Yes. You all right?
I'm brain dead now.
The stroke.
Yeah, basically, I don't know what to say, and I usually have everything to say. I'm intending to release a video this weekend as well, so that's me as well for once. Yeah, I know, right?
You two on hurry. What's going wrong? What's happened?
Yeah, we both took coke this morning, and you know.
That'd be it. Yeah.
No, thank
Took
you.
it?
No, thank you. No. But no, it's this is a really good podcast today, and I'll hopefully see you guys online at some point. If anyone's down for Halo or
hit me up.
anything else, let me know. I'll be online. I'll be online most of today. I don't know what I'll be playing though, but yeah, I'll be around.
Nice.
Okay, cool.
Late?
Yeah, I was going to say you can find me here and on Twitter. I think the Twitter handles are somewhere at the top of the screen. That's where we are. That's all I am. That's where I am always. But thank you all for watching. I was just going to say something else. Oh yeah, please drop a sub and a share. Share the panel and sub the panel. Like the panel. They're okay people.
Yeah, I need some subs.
Yeah.
I've only got 77 on my YouTube channel. I'm trying to get to 100. So if you guys can help me with that, that'd be fantastic.
Let's get Ashtray to 100 by tomorrow. Let's do it. Let's push that.
By the end of the year. No.
Yeah, let's push that. Yes, don't see why not. There's plenty of us in the chat. But thank you all for watching, and I hope you enjoy the show. Please share it out, get more people in here. We try to keep it we tried to cover the topics, but we tried to keep it sort of humorous as well, and